what pisses me off in sports, like, yes, some of those people should got like uh in there too for what they did, but they forgetting about Bobby Young, who hit 3,000 hits. I mean, there's some people that don't get invited to those big games. Like, Bobby Young changed history when he hit the 3,000, and he doesn't get to feel the dreams or get mentioned anywhere. That's what I would like. A little hesitate. Who they like? What people pick the people to be in it? I mean, Wally Fingers was on it. Paul Molitor was in it, but Bobby Young wasn't. That's doesn't make no sense. Mr. 3000. And there's more than just a 3,000 hits. He was the first brewer that did it. And he's not in it. I don't know. I think he should be in that. I thought he should have been definitely in the Field of Dreams game. Not in the game, but one of the 25 Hall of Famers that were there. He should have been one of them.
Customers spend up to $5 for 5 days and get $1,000 in Fed Receptor. Welcome to MLB and Field of Dreams, presented by John Deere. Tonight, from Dyersville, Iowa, it's the Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins. A stirring pregame ceremony where some of the greatest who have ever suited up entered the field from the cornfield.
Trevor Hoffman should definitely been there.
They spent time with both the Phillies and the Twins. Distinguished names and faces in a very stirring pregame ceremony with Hunter Pence, Matt Vasgersian, CC Sabathia with us in a moment, Lauren Shahadi with us as well. If you're not moved by the Field of Dreams score and the reveal of the Hall of Famers coming out of the cornfield, I don't know what to tell you. That was really emotional to watch. It really is. It's just a breathtaking venue and honoring the America's pastime, the greats of our game, and that's what the Field of Dreams is about. It's about America, it's about your history, and the game that we all love, and what an absolute...
Yeah, okay, what about Bobby Young, dude? Come on.
Current stars in uniform for the Twins and the Phillies, and Lauren Shahadi is standing by with one of them.
Matt, thank you. Guys, look at this place. I was watching you watch all the Hall of Famers walk out of the court. You were in awe. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, the guys that make the way for us, and good to see them walking out. Obviously, they're historic careers, and just being able to see them in person was pretty cool.
You'll join them soon. I mean, there's nostalgia about playing here. It reminds us of when we fell in love with this game in the first place. When was that for you?
Yeah, really young age, obviously. I mean, I love this game. I love playing this game. And, you know, my dad, my brother, you know, it's something I've really enjoyed my whole life. And being able to kind of share it with them, it's brought our family together.
I mean, you were a ghost over there, and now you're huge. Did you cross the line?
I crossed the line. I mean,
you're doing it. I don't think so. After watching you for 15 years in the big leagues. I mean, this is pretty cool. A moment in time. Are you going to have a corn gun? I know, but you love a theme.
Yeah, I'm going to have a corn gun. I don't know if it's for that, but I'm going to use it.
Right. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
God, the Stars are out in Iowa.
Laura, no doubt. And let's talk about that star-studded Phillies lineup. They are very much in a wild card race. Yet since the break and the deadline, Hunter, it hasn't been as even as I think they'd like. Yeah, the Phillies a little bit scuffling in the heat of the pennant race, still holding on to a wild card spot, but they're going to need the bats. They're going to need the corn bat or whatever, if it's magical bat, they can get it going. And on the heels of Aaron Nola, who's starting to pitch a little bit better, they're going to lead on him to get them going with the wind doing it here tonight. Yeah, Phillies hoping that a pitching-fueled success story in the first half can continue. They are very much in the thick of the wild card race in the National League. And the same is true of the Twins in the American League. The Twins were not supposed to be this good. They dealt everybody at last year's deadline. Much better than advertised. A first-year manager in Minnesota with previous managerial experience in Derek Shelton, who has guided the Twins to a really good run in a crowded AL wildcard field. Yeah, they're going to be excited about that man right there, Byron Buxton. They're a superstar, they're an all-star, but this is a young group that's playing with their hair on fire. Derek Shelton said it reminds them a little bit of a summer league where they're all loving to hang out. They don't want to leave. They want to spend time together, talk the game, and they're confident and they're playing like they have a chance, and they're playing like they have nothing to lose, Matt. A terrific matchup, a unique setting, and we are in for a very special night at the Field of Dreams. When we return to starting lineups in the opening pitch from Dyersville, Iowa. Yes. Still yes. Why not? Steve, at my age. That's a good start of his life. It's military.
That is pissing me off. Really, how can you forget about Bobby Yount?
Everybody's day one looks different. And every day is day one. If you wait to feel ready, you're never going to start. You let yourself be bad at it. And then you look up one day, and you're like, oh, I can do this now.
I mean, how can you forget about Bobby Yount?
Start anywhere.
That kid.
Just start when you can.
Capital One Bank.
I don't like that.
Yeah, Chuck. That's what the Capital One campaign is here for. For 7 years. God, you should ATM. My dog Walker only takes cash. Yeah, take care. Oh, Alexa says on Chris also. Just the same. It's pretty good bank guy. We're trying to catchphrase. There's no fees or minimums on Capital One checking account. There we go. What's in your wallet? It's natural. For years, Mike's sport of baseball kept hide his thinning hair, which makes everyone think he's good at baseball. He's terrible. But since choosing Nutrafol to help him build discipline for his thinner hair, he's on track for a comeback. Just not one that involves baseball. Hats off to you, Mike. Hats off to you. Welcome back to MLB at Field of Dreams from Dyersville, Iowa. The genuine article where Field of Dreams was filmed before going on to such critical success. And it is a nice night for baseball, something that a lot of us have been wringing our hands over for the last 48 hours or so. Mother Nature's falling in line. It's breezy. It has been wet, rainy all afternoon, but it looks like we're going to have clear skies. Rejoined by our Hall of Fame friend, CC Sabathia. I would imagine that was a first for you, walking out of the cornfield with 30 other Hall of Famers. Yeah, I mean, that was it's an incredible experience. Hard not to get emotional when you think about the guys walking out of that corn and you see them. Like, it's pretty cool stuff. The music gets you, too. The James Horner score is such an emotional way to start a really special night here in Iowa. Let's get you to the starting lineup for the visiting team, the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies who scored one run in each of their last two games. Maybe the change of venue could get this lineup going. Look, it's filled with a lot of pop, a lot of all-stars, and a lot of guys who are capable of doing damage. And it all starts at the top with Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, I mean, Kyle Schwarber, there, yes, he works well. He finds a way going to get on. He's obviously got home run power, but really you can lean on Kyle Schwarber and this veteran lineup to figure it out. They're not worried about the lineup of the offense with Don Mattingly. This is the man that'll try to keep him quiet tonight. 24-year-old right-hander Taj Bradley making his 24th start of the year. He's a guy, CC, who a few years into the league now has increased his velocity, and he's in the midst of the best year of his life. Yeah, he's a guy that there's a really worry about him when he's trying to touch the show early today. And he wants to pitch off field. I've had conversations with him throughout his career, and I kind of like that. Everybody wants to know numbers and trying to figure out the analytics. He's pitching off field, and he's been keeping a good feel of how to do that. So it's really good. Yeah, listen, it was interesting to hear him talk about just letting it rip, not trying to do too much, trusting the two fastballs there. Kind of off the charts with four-seam, the velo is getting higher as the season goes on, and that's a look at the four-pitch mix. But the four-seam and the cutter, a little bit of a good mix. He's better against lefties than he is righties, and the Phillies lineup, but with lefties, man. Derek Shelton in his first year managing the Twins and doing so to real critical success this year. Beloved in the clubhouse already and has had great results. And of course, Don Mattingly, whose resume is certainly befitting of the guys you walked out of the corner with about a half an hour ago, CC. And after his takeover in Philadelphia, Phillies found their stride. So two teams very much in playoff.
No.
And we are underway for the third running of the Field of Dreams game here in Dyersville. This is a matchup I'm very excited to see. Schwarber, who's really strong against right-handed cutters, versus a guy who has a lot of faith in his cutter, and Taj Bradley. Yeah, that's what he was better today, right? But matchup like that against a guy who's doing only the best pitch. Schwarber, Turner, and Harper for the Phillies. Taj Bradley's last start was a good one. He did not get a decision. Schwarber with a shot to the closing line.
It's gone.
Watching batting practice, I did not expect the first at bat. Obviously, it's the Schwarber. I did not expect to see one that deep. There was barely any home runs. Hit the flags. It's just how he
Dude, Kyle Schwarber, dude, is a monster, dude.
And look at his nose. Ball time. Those really think it's not on big man. But we talk about it. It's better, right? Like you like it today. That's the 55% don't get out there.
There's a whole field that can hold that dude.
Yeah, you think I felt like he wanted it in. It's the kind of in, but Schwarber beat him to the spot. What a start. Let's go. Trey Turner now. For Kyle Schwarber has leading 36th of the year into the teeth of the wind. I mean, it's blowing in. Look at the Lions teeth. You know what I mean? And a straight to Turner. Dude will just punish a fastball. Schwarber down. 22 of his 36 homers have come on heaters. It's not a secret, right? The league knows what he likes, but CC, to your point, matter of executing to a premier player. A matter of executing to a premier player, and he's leading off.
He punished that.
And Cody Clemens squeezes the first out of the ninth.
He punished that.
Keeps him tight. Doesn't even take a big swing. It's just a nice, easy, smooth swing, and he purified that one. And you talk about kind of the chills you get watching CC and the Hall of Famers come out, the beauty of this field. And you just feel like that energy can elevate you. And, man, what a way to wake up the Phillies offense here tonight. Bryce Harper now with the run in one away. And I think, man, it's just the nature of this being off the first 2 minutes of the game. You're less likely to throw him a bunch of breaking balls and changeups because he's fastball. So you better put him against Tyler if that's going to happen. Ball to strike the count to Bryce Harper. So there was a time not long ago for Schwarber, there was a little worry because he went through a 17-game homerless stretch, which ended on Sunday when he hit a pair of homers against Toronto. And you could kind of hear Phillies fans exhale and say, okay, our guy's going to be fine in the second half. And that exhale turned into a big old cheer here in Dyersville. launches, 36 now on the season. Can we get a second talk about Bryce's swag right now? He's complete with the arm sleeve with the pull. He's kind of good, right? I love it. All-star game, whatever kind of, one-off game you got, he brings the heat. The spikes might be my favorite part. I mean, the arm sleeve that's pulling Cobb is pretty good, too.
I don't think CC anybody really has a problem with it not being in the 1939 uniform sleeve. You got to do kicks.
They're not even good. And let's take a look at the Twins defense tonight behind Bradley in the outfield from left to right. You got Byron Buxton back in center field. Keyshaw on the right. On the infield, you got Bursley at third. The young rookie, very confident and athletic Paul Pepper. Cody Clemens at second. Royce Lewis at first. And Ryan Jeffers working with Todd Bradley.
One in, one out, one on for Luis Arraez. Four-time All-Star, three-time batting champ. Wanted to challenge that pitch, but there is no ABS challenge in play here for this game. I feel like Louis knew that. He did it anyway. So Field of Dreams is a temporary major league venue, and it doesn't have all the permanent tracking technology installed at big league ballparks that's required for EBS. That is a big difference tonight.
Yeah, we're playing a game with the bullet field. We got to throw it back.
Counts 0-2 on a rise. Back up the middle of third for a base hit. Parker will wrap around at third, and here come the Phillies with runners in the corners and already a run in with one gone.
And this is just vintage Arraez. I've been watching it all season of the Giants, and a couple of little slow games. He's hit the ball hard right here, and you see it. The wind blowing in. Harper, beautiful secondary hustle on the way to get the third with less than 2 outs. And you're just going to see a lot of that from Arraez. Low line drives, going to put the ball in play. He's a catalyst. I love it. I mean, I think he's ready for any lineup. I mean, you consider lineup that type of guy, maybe like a top or a lineup. He's like the pitcher that's going to be on the bases every time he gets up because he's going to put the swing on the ball. It's a master at work.
So the infield comes in now for the Twins. There with runners at the corners. It's Bryson Stott, who's in the middle of a 5-game hitting streak. He wastes no time. That's slashing into the game. And that's going through. Harper scores into the should not been for the left field.
The Bryson got a little thing out down here. I believe this one away from Byron Buxton. A lot of starters going to catch it, but they did. Just how it in. Like it's a four-seamer. Doesn't try to do too much, kind of stay in it, trying to drive this run in, look for a sacrifice fly, but the wind just, Byron playing him the other way, it just fades too far away from both outfielders.
So it doesn't take long for major league players to kind of get over the uniqueness and the special nature of this standalone game and get right into it. It's already 2-0 game. And now a chance for Alec Bohm with 2 runs in, 1 away, runners at first and second. So I got something for you here, CC, because Todd Bradley and Aaron Nola, who goes for the Phillies tonight, they've both had trouble limiting the damage on their fastball. All 3 hits are on fastball so far for the Phillies. At what point do you make an adjustment? Too early for that? First inning?
No, I mean, you definitely need to start making adjustments because they're being aggressive, right? They're coming out there looking for these four-seamers, so they're actually, getting down to the ball. So you have to come out, probably make a little adjustment, start throwing a split or change, and trying to get these guys off his heel a little bit, especially the left.
Down to right for Keyshaw. He makes the catch, and that's on number 2.
But if the lefties know that you're coming in to start, you keep throwing a four-seamer, he's going to get the down to it.
So 2 gone. And now Brandon Marsh, the Phillies left fielder, a first-time All-Star this year, who looks very much at home in the vintage 1939 to 1941 road grave that the Phillies are sporting tonight. He's in there aggressively offering at first pitch.
The lefties have been super aggressive on time tonight. Like I said, maybe he's expecting that cutter and get that four-seamer. He's trying to put that swing. You see a bit of a game plan from the Phillies to he's reared back and lit his fire.
The ball to strike. Marsh, the seventh Philly to hit the first inning. Already a 2-0 lead for the visitors. One pitch. Wow. Okay.
Take a little hot down and take another look right here. This four-seamer and just a little bit outside for what he's got.
And that screen is real close to us, as a matter of fact. We're right on top of this. There's not a lot of room between the backstop and home plate. Nobody could advance on that potential foul pitch.
This is pretty good from our eyes. I mean, obviously you want to try to get a secondary, but this bounces right down to Jeffers, and he's going to make a turn to throw him out. So a good hold at second, he's in score position.
Intimate setting here in Dyersville. 3 balls and a strike, and full count out of March. By the way, we are so on top of it here. This is what it used to be. Before the new ballparks were built and they kicked the broadcasters to the window, needed oxygen to call the game.
I was getting such the memories of just the childhood games. Like, I want to take a foul ball back to get a Dr. Pepper or something.
And there's ball 4 that loads the bases with 2 gone. Dimensions here at Dyersville are all major league dimensions. 335 down the lines, 400 to straightaway center. And again, a very intimate setting with 8,000 of your closest friends in attendance. So we have a little meeting at the mound, and a developing trend, I guess, CC to watch for here is that the only 2 outs that Bradley has recorded come against the only 2 right-handed hitters he's faced tonight. All the lefties have reached.
Yeah, it was right up the split of lefties. Good swinging, good hitting lefties. And, like I said, we talked about earlier, the attack with the cutter. He's just going to get that 14 on a better spot. The velocity uptick right there a little bit with Brandon Marsh. 3-1 fastball is 97, and 3-2 fastball is 97. So let's see if you can get it going a little bit. Start throwing a little harder. And you're 25, 26 pitches into an inning. That's currently for Taj. How are you feeling out there? It's the first inning, so you're literally just trying to get your feet up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just trying to make sure that the delivery's good, the delivery strikes, what you need to, but you have to be aggressive and, pitching gets really well some pitches.
3-time All-Star JT Realmuto down. Bases are loaded with 2 runs in and 2 away. Sliced, fouled and out of play.
So I think the one thing he needs to realize now is he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this, right? He got the bases loaded, he gave up 2. Game's not over. They got to score anyway. That's what I'm always thinking. We got to score anyway. So if I can limit them and get us back in the dugout, we'll have a chance the Twins will have a chance to score some runs and get back in the game. And catch your breath and come back out and make an adjustment.
Count is 0-2 on JT Realmuto. 8th Philly to bat in the inning. Players, and I don't have to tell you guys, are such creatures of habit, pitchers in particular. This is a whole different vibe. Both teams arrived here today. They had day games yesterday. They're going to take off tonight. This is very different from the rest of the 161 that they played this year. Sometimes that means an uneven start for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, and even like travel, starters travel the day of the game. Like when I was coming in, I was going out to, the house. I seen Arizona coming to the field the first time seeing the field. We just wanted to get out here, see the mound, walk around, and it's something unique for a starting pitcher to show up the first, the day that you're starting in the big leagues. It's normally you get there the night before, get a good night's sleep, and get some good rest.
Well, this is exciting. It's 2-2 to Realmuto now.
And just the vibe in the clubhouse, especially with the Twins, the enthusiasm, the feel, how it just kind of brings you back and brings the monotony of the big league season and reminds you kind of the wonders of the game. They were all ecstatic to be here.
Fly ball to right, it should get Bradley out of any further trouble, and it will. But a good start to the ball game for the visitors. Kyle Schwarber's
2 runs that gives Philly an early lead in the cornfield.
Okay, I'm giving a lecture in 30 minutes on the history of sound. Okay, can you fact check my dates? Okay, and while you're looking, can you find out if there are any delays in the 16th Street BART station?
Sure.
Okay, and then I need to know if it's going to rain this afternoon.
Checking BART and the weather. I don't think any current advisory for 6
Okay.
transmission right now.
Okay, great. So I'll be on time. How about the rain?
Good news. No rain expected
Okay,
today. So
great.
down.
John Deere is teaming up with Major League Baseball at the Field of Dreams to celebrate those who tend ball fields and cornfields.
Yeah, let's be great. Yeah, you know.
Come game day, you find a way. Because you don't just watch, you commit. It's seats that never skip a generation. Feeding a family. Traveling weekends to see her rack up points. This is your passion. This is your ritual. And you have no plans to ever give that up. Make your pastimes last a lifetime. Discover the protection and growth products of Lincoln Financial. 2-0 Phillies as we check out Derek Shelton's Minnesota Twins starting lineup. Has been a loud bunch. They've scored 18 runs over their last 3 games. And the big news today is that fella's back. Byron Buxton, their unquestioned most dangerous bat and lineup leader, the 3-time All-Star, playing for the first time since July 28th as he's off the injured list, having conquered a hip injury. And on the mound for the Phillies, it's the 33-year-old veteran right-hander making his 25th start of the season, Aaron Nola. Yeah, now look at the numbers for Aaron Nola. 3-9 with a 5.47. Doesn't tell the whole story. He's starting to put some good numbers there. 125 innings, 129 strikeouts, but he has around 29 home runs this season. So we'll see him in the cornfield. He can keep the ball in the yard. Yeah, we evaluating earlier today. He talked about maybe the ABS being a problem for Nola. Beginning of the season, gives the guy like a little on the edges. So they're trying to figure out how to get, out in the zone because the hitters have been really good with the ABS and laying off the pitches that they don't take the strikes. And, that's making it tough for some of these, I guess, older pitchers. They're going to have to make some adjustments and maybe take advantage of no ABS here today and that command. Good points, you see. Just saw the Arsenal breakdown for Nola. There's a long shot out to right. Rubber one opens the hole. With the big hit. The bread and butter pitch for Nola is, and has always been, his outstanding number 4 ball, as you saw in the Statcast 3D breakdown powered by Google Cloud. And when he gets ahead of the count and can make guys chase that under the strike zone, good things can happen for him. Yeah, really, he's been his one set of grace this season. It's around the 33% clip. He does have a six-pitch mix, but if you're the Twins right there, you have a long inning for your starter. It's really important for that leadoff batter that works the pitches and get on the bag. That's a big bat. Here is the 3-time All-Star Byron Buxton, who takes a look at a sinker for strike 1. Twins lineup was okay without him. Start play tonight with the second highest runs per game scoring average in the American League. But make no mistake, if the Twins are going to go into the postseason, this is a guy they need to have healthy and out there for 4 at-bats a night. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's the catalyst for this team. I mean, superstar player, your center fielder. But yeah, I mean, if they're going to make a playoff run, if they're going to, make a run in October, he has to be the guy who's going to carry him. Out of his front foot, popped up. Real neutral for out number 1. Let's see.
Providing Byron Buxton. He says it's nagging day to day. When he turns on a dime, though, it's sharper pain. He got a cortisone shot over the weekend. And then Derek Shelton, his manager, through batting practice, Shelton said, am I good at BP? No. Have I been able to brush my hair since? So far, no. But I had to put eyes on Byron, and he did it survive.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that the skipper went out there. And I want to see how you respond to a ball that's on your hip or having to open up on something that's on the outside of the plate. So I'm going to throw BP and figure out if you're ready to go or not. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, Buxton trusts him to be able to do that. I love that Chelsea has that, confidence in himself and, within the organization to be able to go out and, give the okay if he's ready to play or not.
One out, one on now for the catcher, Ryan Jeffers.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I was watching Don Mattingly take field goals at first base from Stott at third and, playing catch with his son as well, as you have to do when you come to the Field of Dreams. Clearly, talked about maybe getting that opportunity and really cool get active.
A jam shot, and that's Rose looking to start up here, and a chance of not going to be able to have a play on it. It's an infield single for Jeffers, and the Twins putting together an early rally here in the first.
Well, there you have it right there. The ground attack, let the ball play, good things happen. And Jeffers kind of speedy for a catcher, not very normal in style. Put it in your pocket, the swinging bunt.
They lift weights into the bat bar. Those are the ones that keep you up at night.
That's all right.
I'd rather give up 110 mile an hour off the bat than give up those all night.
Those are the sweet babies. Always even down.
Big spot here for the Twins. One of their hottest hitters now with runners on and one away. It's the switch hitting DH Josh Bell. Bell's reached base safely in 16 straight, longest streak on the roster. And he has clicked Aaron Nola 3 times for home runs in his career. We just saw part of the Phillies defense with Stott at third base. This is a very different look as to what they lined up before the trading deadline, Hunter.
Yeah, let's take a look at that defense. It's shuffled around a bit. They got Brandon Martian left, Justin Crawford at center. Now Bryce Harper playing at right field. Stott at third, Turner at short, and Rise now at second. Alec Bowe moves to first, and Real Pluto behind home plate.
Ball and a strike to Bell. Chase that knuckle curve, and it's 1-2.
And that's kind of the vintage, what you want to see. The knuckle curve is the one pitch that had great run value, and there you can see the kind of rotation. Gets him to chase the one down low. WCCC.
That's a great pitch. I mean, you want to go back to it right here, trying to get a strikeout or ground ball on the ground.
Missed with it. And it's 2-2.
Right on the same page, CC. That is pitcher.
Something about their Phillies defense, I think, is, you got to give Bryce Stott a lot of credit for being willing to move when they acquire Luis Arraez at third base and, Ball being able to move. But, yeah, I mean, they jump in the defense, but you have to give those guys, those veteran guys, a lot of credit for being willing to move, trying to make it better.
Let's face it, the Phillies have had a couple of postseason runs that have been shorter than what they thought they were capable of, and they were aggressive at the trade deadline and really kind of shocked the system. We'll talk about that as we continue tonight. Next pitch on the Bell. Changeup hit missed.
When a guy's clipped you 3 times, you got to be careful. Even when you get the 2 strikes, you got 2 runners on. You need to make a quality pitch to get this guy out.
Full count. The runners at first and second with 1 away. Big pitch coming up from Nola. The 3-2 home. Danny D. You go back to who you came to the dance with. Your best partner, the knuckle curve.
Guys, the best pitch on bring to.
That's the knuckle curve for Aaron Nola. Right here, he has the guts. He's going to be ball work. He can lay off of it, but Josh Bell got him chasing.
And a lot of times when you throw that 3-2 pitch, if it's an off-speed pitch, you try to throw it for a strike. But again, he knows that Bell's touched him a couple times, so you got to make a pitch and live or die. If he swings, strike 3. If he doesn't, you got to live with the walk.
Ball and no strikes, the counts of Ruiz Lewis.
But that's kind of the thing about, his knuckle curve kind of breaks a little bit more than the average, and it looks like a strike for a long time. Really tough as a hitter to lay off of that pitch.
2 balls and no strike to Lewis. Bruce Lewis, like Josh Bell, has been hot. 12 RBIs in his last 15 games. Line to shortstop for Trey Turner. Just like that, Aaron Nola's out of trouble. 2 left stranded in the home first, onto the second. 2-0 Phillies.
Choose T-Mobile. Ready for this one? Get iPhone 17 Pro on T-Mobile. Difference again on T-Mobile. Make an amazing new iPhone and be like this guy. Really perfect selfie. Here's another reason. High-speed data in over 215 countries and destinations. She sure is taking on that local data, and now she's dancing. Okay, how about this one? America's Best Network. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile. Find yours. It's no surprise how fast civilization can disappear. We're survivors. Go out there. They need our help. And inquire afterwards. Don't take that price. Whoever hurts are going to take off. That's the plan. So I see that. It's against the hell. Way to go.
So, I ran some numbers. You guys might want to consider St. Morris. I doubt it. Reviews shall ease your grievous throat most readily, or maybe saltwater garlic.
Sold. Congratulations, Phil. That is a new record.
You realize that Jake Blake doesn't have his financial plan right? Maybe. I mean, yes. Now, the BNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
Making every dollar count is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. That's why we help you find more ways to save on car insurance. Want students in your house? Save it. Drive safe? Congrats. You save. Drive less? We're saving. Multiple vehicles? Saving. Rental home and auto? You guessed it. Saving. You can live a lot of life with all those savings. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
First memory comes from my dad. I was about 3 years old. Living. We would always go out in the ball field on the weekends, play catch. Kind of did that throughout my whole childhood. Really good memories of playing catch with my dad. I got a lot of them. Everything in the backyard was kind of what I learned with my dad.
Father-son component of the movie Field of Dreams is impossible to miss. And there's some terrific father-son stories here. Don Mattingly works for one of his sons. Son Preston, who's the general manager of the team. And he has another son out here to play catch with. And it is play catch.
Have a catch. They say have a catch in the movie, but it's a play catch. That's all. What's the movie?
2-0 Phillies as we pick up the second, and another father-son story at the plate. It's a quick strikeout victim. We didn't even have a chance to talk about Justin and his dad, Carl. We'll get to that. One of the greatest players in Tampa Bay Rays franchise history, and the strikeout recorded for Thomas Bradley.
And that's really just absolutely takes off. That makes Justin Crawford look a little silly.
Back to Kyle Schwarber, who opened the game with a solo homer. At what point, CC, when you see stuff like this, do you feel like there's ownership? Schwarber's faced Todd Bradley 3 times, 2 homers and a walk.
That's over the guy, for sure. And like I said earlier, you know when a guy has you, right? You know when you can't throw a fastball by a guy. You know when your stuff is not good enough to get a guy out. And you face a guy 3 times, taking you twice, and you walk him the other time, you know.
To the gap. Play for Buxton.
Every time the ball goes into there, hey, that was a good basic hit right there too. That breaking ball is out over the plate, so Sloan just barely missed that pitch too. 97 off the bat is short, not enough to center field.
So 2 gun bases empty for Trey Turner now, and this this is not the first time we've seen Taj Bradley potentially work through a rocky first inning. His first inning ERA at the start of play today was 6.5. But moving forward, it's less than half that. So get over that first inning, get through it, and better things come during the course of a start.
That's just a little anxiety to start the game. Just trying to figure out, the game, trying to get a feel, like we talked about earlier, just having that little bit of anxiety and not being able to execute.
And Ty's kind of a young guy that, Derek Shelton talked about, overthrowing and having a lot of passion and playing with energy. And when he settles in and kind of calibrates, he kind of hits his rhythm. And you can see him a lot calmer here in the second inning.
A lot of teams now have a guy that can take you deep the first hitter, which Schwarber, Tyler, and whoever it is. But you used to be able to settle into a game. It used to be only Soriano back in the day when I was throwing. Like, everybody else was like, all right, I can throw a fastball into the tape and it won't get hurt here. But now, you have to be on the pitch one. And it's not safe.
Especially for the short.
I say this all the time, it should be illegal to swing the first pitch of the game.
Third walk of the game already issued by Bradley, and with 2 out. Turner's aboard in front of Bryce Harper now, who walked and scored in the first. And Bryce has done a lot of that this year. He's got the 3rd highest walk total in the sport. It's part of keeping your OPS healthy, your on-base percentage healthy. Bryce willing to take the base on balls. 1-1.
And you just take a look at the numbers, and Bryce continues to be an elite hitter. The walks, the homers, consistent, stable, tough at bats. I just saw his bats got pulled on the fan too. He got the cool pockets off the charts. I'm loving it.
2 balls and a strike to Harper.
Need that Harper sizzle. Take a look at this bat right here. The stock. I think this does a good job.
Bryce has to have his own guys at Under Armour and Victus, right? Because he's changing gears so often. Just missed. 3 balls and a strike. I mean, the detail is such that the part is buttered.
For the butter that's flying off, baby. That's awesome.
3 balls and a strike to Harper. Turner stays put at first, and Bryce takes a rip at a heater and fouls it back.
They get the corner in the stands.
I was told a little bit later on, our Anthony Rizzo is going to come up here and regale us with some dad jokes regarding corn. Did you guys hear about that?
I'm ready. I love a good dad joke.
Riz has a bunch of material he's going to break out tonight. Full count, 3-2. And strike 3, taken by Harper. So get Bradley out of the inning. Runner left stranded. Through an inning and a half in Dyersville. Phillies lead it 2-0.
If you're traveling to be surrounded by nature, don't end up surrounded by hotels. Get an Airbnb and go where hotels can't.
I've sacrificed everything to get here. But I'll never let my costs go unchecked. Grow your business with Rippling AI. If you put your name on a vehicle, you're signing off on its quality. We don't take that lightly. We take an honest assessment of where we can be better. Quality takes thousands of Americans far away from the spotlight. But if you keep at it day after day, that spotlight finds you. And now
#1 for initial quality among mainstream brands. HG Hotels and Resorts. Consider your don't make it dangerous. Stick to the agenda. Never experience something unexpected. With IHG's 21 hotel brands, you can guess how you guess. With the deep footage. Pushing big things. Crack open cans.
The Wayne team up against Field of Dreams on Netflix. A 2-0 lead for the Phillies. We are pleased to be joined by Phillies All-Star center fielder Brandon Marsh. Kind enough to wear a mic and an earpiece for us. Brandon, thanks for the visit. Cody Clemens digging in against Aaron Nola. How are you enjoying the corn in the outfield?
Man, it's crazy. And in a good way. This is so much fun. Just going over before the game this afternoon and seeing where it all took place, where they all the shot the footage at over there. And it's special, man. It's just puts it all in perspective. And just makes you realize you're just playing a kid's game. Lots of fun, man. Brandon, the CC Tobacco. I know you guys, it's difficult to get here in the middle of the season, but you got to get up for these games, and you guys still get super excited to be able to come here and play these one-off games like this. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a good little switch up for us. Not saying baseball gets boring, but as you guys know, it's a lot of games, so getting a good switch up, a different atmosphere, looking at all the corn and all, it's really good. Seeing all the kids' faces and everyone just smiling happy, that's just what it's all about. So we're soaking it all in just like everyone else is, just having some fun with it. Brandon, this is Hunter Vince here. Can you describe kind of the emotions of just that intro when the Hall of Famers are coming out, the memories of the movie, the nostalgia of, growing up and all the sacrifices your family makes for you to make it this far? What was that feeling like for you? Yeah, it gives your body like those good chills, over here. It gives your body those good chills, just let you know that you're in the right place, let you know you're where you're supposed to be, and it's just one of these things where for me I just want to soak it all in, watching all the Hall of Famers coming in from the Florence and us standing on the line admiring them, it was special, so it's a great event. They did really well with it.
Luke Keyshaw now after the strikeout of Cody Clemens. I want to know what you guys think about when you see Kyle Schwarber lift the solo homer, lead-off homer into the corn. I mean, it was just, he's almost like a mythological character for us.
I mean, at this point, are you surprised,
No.
It's very, very hard to do it. He does it so often.
Keyshaw out to left. And into the corn. Keyshawn 7 to the year, cuts the deficit in half. A 2-1 Philadelphia lead.
Well, the lead is still going in. He's able to get the win here. And what a nice swing right there, Brandon. I gotta ask you, did you think that ball carried or did it get knocked down a little bit? That ball was carried further than it was in BP, I'll tell you that. But it's sorry, can we go back to what we were talking about? However, he gets a fastball inside, pulls the hands in. This is 102 off the bat, Brandon. And that's kind of purified. But you almost got there. How's the calibration of the warning track in the fence? You feeling a little familiar yet? You got 3 steps in a job. That one was just a little bit out of reach. But getting closer, we're going to scale it and try to get there. But just a little too far. Yeah, that one clearly way to the couple of it was deep, but it wasn't a long straight, but it wasn't. Definitely wasn't like just a little out of reach. But as a pitcher, I can appreciate the skill with it and trying to catch everything you can. We definitely love that. Yeah, if there's any opportunity, we're doing it good. But yeah, Hunter, sorry, I told you, I'm looking for first name basis, but I wanted
wanted to let you know, I know I've told you this before in the past, but you were my comp coming out of high school. Let's go. My God. That was right after you guys were teaming up and I was winning senior. So it was an honor to be in the same category. See, I know light years ahead of you, light years ahead of me, and still honor, but it was an honor to be in the same conversation as you, man. Well, Brennan, it means a lot for me to hear you say that, and the way you hustle and the way you play the game. I always just prided myself on, I was hard, I wasn't talent, and I love to play the game, and I see the same thing with you. So it's one of those things where there's a lot of really good players in this game, right? Like really, really good. And I like to put myself up there too, but it's an all-star, bro. It's an all-star. Just humbly speaking, I got to work hard, really, really hard to stay in the field with these guys. So it's taking a little page out of your book sometimes helps me out a lot.
A couple of hops to second for Luis Arrives. And Brooksland retired for out number 2.
So, Brandon, this allows me a fun conversation because you took my guy, Luis Arrives, you brought him on. How about the energy and the enthusiasm that he plays and just the work ethic and the crap of love of baseball you see from him? I mean, just talk about as pure of a hitter as they've come, I didn't have the luxury of watching like a Tony Gwynn or a Pete Rose, but he's in that category, and he's special. His work ethic is second to none. They're just a freak in a good way. He's unbelievable. And I'm really thankful he's wearing the Phillies on the chest tonight. It's going to be exciting to watch all down the stretch. And talk about your teammates being willing to shift defense to bring in another bat that's going to, right? It doesn't matter how good the pitcher is. He's going to find a way to put it in play and bring something dangerous. But tell us a little bit about the camaraderie of the teammates and the respect to bring him in. Yeah, I mean, you got to tip your cap to guys like Hart, Scott, and Ball, that are solidified in this game. Everyday players, and just them shifting around, Hart going to right, like just going back to just like it was, like he was just playing yesterday. And, Scotty playing the heck out of third and Ball picking it at first. It's been really fun to watch and fun to be a part of, and it really just lengthens out our lineup. It's put Louis in the middle of it. Get guys on, he hits them all in, and the second half of the order isn't one to mess with either. So it just helps our lineup, it helps our team just be more complete.
Cast ball and 2 strikes on the rookie Caleb Culpepper.
And it was honestly great to see, right? Right before the trade deadline, when I came out and said, it's great because of their workers are there. They trade for Ryan, so they get for that, right? Yeah, he did. That's the problem with the mood. The rules just, you got to tip your cap like that. It's like, exactly. That's what Louis said in his presser was the respect that we all have for him. Even before he got over here, it just speaks to it. And, you got an all-star first baseman in Harvard moving around doing for you. You got to be a little special, because the sacrifices when you're able to accomplish, get to the playoffs, and you're making a deep run, and the champagne celebrations. Yeah. That's what makes that burn of the champagne worth it. So definitely, and God willing, that's where we want to be at. And we've had some good runs the last couple of years, but we got to go finish the team. We got to get there first. But yeah, we definitely have a team to go have some fun with in this October, man.
Brandon, we appreciate you. Thanks for visiting with us.
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys have a good one.
In the summer, how your team swings the bat, swings your mood. And you've been riding pretty high. But nothing lasts too long in baseball. So just travel home for a series before those bats go cold.